aircraft tank and review it. Second birthday. Okay, here comes the I-17. It's unlocked from the I-16 early version 3, and you can completely jump to I-17 without upgrading any module from I-16. But I don't recommend you to do that as always, because when you unlock your other things in the older plane, you have more chance to use them in the next plane, and the grinding in the next plane is normally easier. But for this example, it's not lol. As you can see, the I-17 is a very low altitude plane, and is especially for terrain burning. And the best thing I can expect you can expect to do this with this plane is the always turn fighting with everyone that coming in low altitude. This plane is especial in turn fighting, but in other aspect of the dog fighting, it's so worse, completely worse. That means if you come out of turning, this plane can't do anything for helping your teammates, and also this plane is without support in in the other aspect of game, can do much and very easy target for killing. That's why I recommend you always to go around with your teammate. Let's show the module in service. Well, okay. When the plane come to your hangar, uh, you only have a 4 machine gun with the output damage of, come on, okay, output damage of, come on, 48 damage per second, but very high rate of fire, 1,800 round per minute. At first look, it doesn't look bad, but you are in the tier 4 now, and in tier 4, all of the parents start to show their class and show the difference between each other. This plane, if you are going to the tier in this tier, you should always know that it will you should know your plane limitation and don't go for a condition that your plane can answer to that condition. For upgrading of this plane, I recommend you to always upgrade the engine first because you need that horsepower. The stock engine give a very very small horsepower for climbing and also for increasing the speed. And when you are in the turn fighting, most of the time you see that your speed drop very fast and completely come to the dark green line in the lower speed. After that, I recommend you to upgrade the frame because it gives you more 10 to 10 fighting. It's very useful for the uh, clearing your six because uh, there is no other plane in this class that can turn, turn around as fast as this line. And after that, using the 20mm cannon or not using is your choice. I recommend you if you are in the close term fighting, don't use the 20mm cannon because if we give you a rank expectation of the hitting the far target than normally, and also most of the time this cannon is overheating very fast. This cannon is only useful when you are going for a going for a GAA or grenade aircraft, and besides that it wasn't useful. Also with this plane you can climb high after targets, and using the cannon don't give you much of advantage. For equipment, I recommend you for a normal game improve reflex sight and self-sealing. But if you want to keep this plane, I recommend you to use the aircraft polish because this plane needs that. And If later they add a engine boost system, and we know that it comes to 1.9 patch, I recommend you also use that instead of the self-sealing, because you need all of the power for turning around and keeping your speed. For a normal gaming, the setup controller is like this, but if later there is something better added, I will add it to the comment, and I can explain this explain a lot not much, and let's jump to the reply. And in these games, I used only 4 machine guns and not the cannons. I want to show you how much this plane have advantage or disadvantage over what condition, and in other reply I'll also see the other condition of this other condition that this plane going. Let's fast forward a little. As you can see, I'm in the light green altitude instead of going so high, and this plane I recommend you to always do that. And as you can see, I'm not going too high because this plane is so horrible in the high altitude. Another important thing I will tell you is never going to that fireball alone, because if you are going alone, you can gain advantage over enemy, and with a lot of target focusing on you, even if you have a very the best turning rats and also rolling rats, you can out-turn them, all of them. Also, never going for the head-on with any plane. In this plane, as you can see, I'm trying to check a lot of targets at the same time, and this plane is very good at this kind of condition, also for head-ons, because no one can out-turn him in the head-on. But if you have a lot of target like this condition, you can shake them all. And the result. The first thing I should always do in I-17 is always going to the group and be under them, not going solo. Okay, let's jump to the next game. And this time I want to show you how will it look like if you go to your I-17 in the high altitude. And fast forwarding a little, and come on, here comes the first target. I'm in the best altitude for my planes, but at the same time I'm too high for a turn fighting, because if they go high, I'm having with condition. As you can see, having a teammate in this condition give you a lot of advantage, but in high altitude you will have a lot of the advantage, because most of the boom and zoom plane can use this altitude for boom and zoom and high speed passing, and you can do much. Ow, that hurt a lot. If your teammate be killed, you will have a hard time to win this game. As you can see, in this altitude, most of the high altitude plane was very fast for killing, and you normally going for a stall or very large speed, and this is a big problem for this class, for this plane better say. I will go to the next game. Okay, in these games I want to show you another condition of that this plane sometimes going. The team's full of the low altitude plane beside the BF-109B against a team have a lots of high altitude plane. In this condition, the best tactic you can use is going to the lower altitude with the other planes and make the momentum plane come down. Because if you do that, they will lose more energy in climbing, and you have more advantage in team fighting and make a fireball. Let's fast forward a little again. Come on. And I think here it comes. You see that I-16 is going so high, but they are not boom and zoom plane. And even though it give them advantage for having energy, the plane can use them much. At the best they can do is using them for sending energy to the speed. But in this game, with a lot of low altitude, energy wasn't useful because then they are going so fast they can turn harder than us. And as you can see, with having a lot of low altitude teammates or having a very close fireball, we can shoot a lot of targets without worrying about the other things. And if they come from the U6, you can also aim very hard. One exception, don't turn at the same time as your teammate in close turning because it gives you very easy targets for both of you. And as you can see, I'm not trying to keep my speed to lower dark green bar. I'm trying to keep my speed over 200 kilometers per hour. They make a mistake and one more plane coming, I-16. He's diving again at one of our teammates and we use the chance to attach him. This tactic is very useful for the low altitude plane like the I-17 and you should always use that instead of going for so high altitude and losing so much energy and speed in turn fighting. As you can see, BSH2 also coming for a dogfight because he said the result wasn't good. I pinged the minimap and trying to distract the BSH2 with a very high speed turn fighting and avoid his head on because he can kill me very easily head on. And now I use this chance to damage him from behind. He tried to climb, but the guy can climb better than me in the I-17, and I use this chance to damage him very easily. He's the only plane left, and result is win, even if he tries his best, because it's very high altitude. Overall, I know I don't keep this plane for myself because I'm interested to do all kind of all kind of thing in my plane, but rather than using the time fighting. But for the guys who join the dogfight and do lots of time fighting, this plane is the best, and I recommend them for them. But I hope that this review is useful for you guys and good luck in the sky.